Alrighty, thank you guys for all being here. We're going over our September goals, but we have 4 months left in the year, and I got a goal setting kind of outline from Brooke and shared it with everybody on Dare. And so I hope that you guys can grab this and print it out and use it, because it does go through the end of the year. So that's something that I'm hoping can be like a document, kind of a working guide that you can use for the rest of the year to outline your goals and plan out what your ideas are for them and really work towards them. So that's what I wanted to work on today and kind of get started with. And so I wanted to go over goals. Okay, so G is for grounded. Are you grounded in what matters to you? So you have to be really clear about what you want for yourself, for your family, for your shareholders of shareholders of your business is what I meant to say. And be clear in what that vision is, because if you're kind of just working just to work, or you're just working towards a rank, that's not going to keep you going. That's not going to give you the drive that you need. And so you really want to be grounded in what matters to you. Is that being able to pay for something for your children? Is it being able to provide something to supplement maybe what your husband provides, or to allow him to cut back on what he's doing? Is it to be able to retire early? Is it to be able to help your family or to help a cause that you love more and more? So you want to be grounded in what matters to you. So I want you to be really clear on why you're doing this and what it is that matters to you and what you're trying to accomplish. Okay. O stands for optimistic. Optimistic for a future that is destined to be yours. Okay, are you doom and gloom? Are you like, this life's so tough, nothing ever works, nothing happens the way I want it to be or want it to work out? If that's how you're always thinking, then yes, that's how your life is going to be. And so I want you to be really focused on being optimistic. If you're negative, the outcome is going to be negative. If you think everything's, if you're always seeing things from the negative point of view, this is hard, I don't have enough, not enough people are doing something, then that's going to be the truth. But if you're optimistic and look, this is what's going on, that's good. This is my team that's really motivated right now and they're really excited. Focus on that. So you want to be optimistic. Okay. So A is for ambitious. Are you ambitious enough to make yourself a little bit nervous and push yourself outside your comfort zone? Because if you're not willing to get outside of your comfort zone, all those things that you want, they're not going to come to pass. I mean, things don't just land in your lap. You have to be ambitious and comfortable with being uncomfortable to make things happen. Okay. The L in goals is leveled up. You went outside. Leveling up to new heights and compelling new development and new skills and grit beyond where you currently are. So this has to do with personal development. One of the biggest hurdles that I always find when I'm working with my team is that people are doing all the things and they're working through all the exercises and they're doing all the moves, but they're not developing personally. And a lot of the roadblocks that we hit, they're all in our head. They're all things that are in our control, right? Who joins our team? Who tries our products? Who wants to do what we're doing? That's not in our control. We can't control someone signing up. But what we think, how we think, and how we present things, those are things we can control. And so if you're not leveling up and working to improve the things that you can control, you are cheating yourself. So I want to encourage you to be focused on leveling up. So personal development, getting beyond your comfort zone, increasing your set of skills. You want to be working on that. And then S in goals is systematic. Are you systematic in what you're doing? Are you taking consistent steps that create a process for you to succeed over time? I haven't read the book, which I should. But no, I'm not going to remember the name of it. But, oh, the compound effect, I think is what it's called. The compound effect is, right, repeated action over time is what yields results. Repeated action over time. You're not going to do sit-ups one day and wake up with a six-pack. But if you do sit-ups every single day, repeated action over time, in 2 months, in 3 months, in 4 months, you're going to wake up and go, wow, my stomach's looking flatter. My abs are looking more cut. I'm seeing more definition. So that's what makes the difference. Stefan. So you want to make sure that you are repeating action over time. Okay. And then now let's move into our goals. We want to make goals that have meaning, that they have purpose, that they're important to us, and they like we have a stake in it. You know, if you don't have a stake in something, then you don't really care. So what is it that you want to do? So now we're going to start thinking about our goals. But right now I want you to think of like life goals and dreams, not just, you know, oh, I want to have 6 join this month. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, what is it that you want this business to do for your life? So what do you want to do, and what does your heart gravitate towards in general? Is that serving people? Is that volunteering at your child's school? Is that ministering to women? Is it ministering in some different fashion? What is it that makes you happy, that makes you go, not happy, I'm not all about like what makes me happy, but like, what is your passion? What fulfills you? What makes you go, okay, I did something good for the world and for the people around me? Because that's ultimately why we're doing this, is so that we have the freedom to be able to do those things that make us feel fulfilled. I don't know why this is not focusing. It's annoying me, but I can't help it. I'm sorry that I'm blurry. I don't know what to do. I've touched my face a million times to make it doesn't work. Okay. So what do you want to have is another question to ask yourself. Imagine your dream life. What is in it and who is in it? Who do you want to be? A lot of what we do is personal development and I'm gonna rub this. Personal development and just becoming a better you. You know, people don't necessarily start Plexus because they want to become a public speaker, but in becoming an ambassador, they're asked to speak at an event and they have to overcome their fear of public speaking. And they have to be people who are willing to share their story, right? So that's super exciting. Okay, this is seriously driving me so bonkers. I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna try virtual background and see if it'll refocus. No. I don't know why it's not focused. I don't know how to make it focus. I'm gonna turn my camera around and see if that makes a difference. I don't even know if I can do that. Oh well, I guess I'm gonna have to keep ignoring it. Okay, so who do you want to be? And then what does this goal mean to you? So what would it mean to you if you could, you know, pay off all your debt and know that you could live month to month off of your Plexus paycheck without having to worry about anything else? You know, you don't have car payments, you don't have a house payment, you don't have tuition payments. What would it mean to you? What does this goal mean to you? So you want to be clear on what is your goal? What do you want to have? What does it mean to be the person that you need to be to accomplish that goal? And then what does this goal mean to you? I want you to think those things through. And these are all in the handout. So if you're kind of like, just print the handout out and fill it out. Okay. everything that we do in life has a connection to everything else. We think that maybe we live in a bubble, but we don't. Our actions, our achievements, our development, everything that we do impacts the world around us. And so that ripple effect that you have is going to inspire your dreams. It's going to help you to continue to move forward. Every dream that you have is on purpose and is created in your life through your heart as a piece of what your bigger purpose is. And so to accomplish these goals, you have to be clear on what those are, because you're not motivated by just, this is what I do every day. You're motivated by, this is where I'm going to end up. This is what I'm working towards. I do the grind every day because in the end, the reward is going to be worth it. So you have to be clear on what it is that you want, so that when the times get tough and maybe the times may not be tough. You may just wake up one day and be like, I don't really feel like doing that. You have to remember what your goals are and why you're working. Okay. So why is it necessary for you to reach your goal? Why do you want to hit that next rank? Why do you want your paycheck to be a certain amount? Is it because, like I said, that means that you could cover all these bills, and so your husband only has to worry about these bills and his paycheck more than covers those bills, so that relieves a huge amount of stress? Or is it that when you reach that goal, you're going to be able to pay for your vacations, and so that's never going to be an issue? A lot of people, I would say the majority of people, they have to budget for that kind of thing. Everyday life, we have, but do you want to go take a vacation that may cost $5,000? And where's the $5,000 going to come from? What if you knew, okay, I want to save that much money with my business so that vacation never has to be an issue? It's like, we're going, we have that money set aside. It's done. So why is it necessary for you to reach your goal? And then you want to talk about, why is that necessary? So I want to reach my goal so I can pay for my vacation. Well, why do you want to do that? Well, because then my husband doesn't have to worry about it. Because then, and I'm speaking very generally, forgive me if not everybody has a husband, or husbands make crap loads of money and you don't worry about that. I know that you can filter this money to wherever you need to for your specific situation, but I'm just using that as an example. Okay. So I'm going to use my Plexus paycheck to pay for this. Why is that necessary? Because then it relieves the stress from this section of our life. Well, why is that necessary? Because now my husband doesn't have to worry and stress and have that extra box of like, we need to check this off. It takes a box off of his list that we have to check off, and it just completely deletes it. And I appreciate that. Or it relieves something for my children. I want to be able to pay for their college. Why is that necessary? So that my kids don't have debt. Why is that necessary? So they can have joy. They can go to college and know they're going to come out of college, they can get a job, and they're not going to be struck down with debt that they need to deal with now, right? That's a huge blessing. So that's important for you to have those big, big goals, and then whittle down the action that you need to take in order to accomplish those goals. Okay. So I don't know if you've been answering these questions as I've been going, or if you're kind of just got your wheels turning, but I definitely want you to think of those things. And then what you do is you're going to break down, there's two different kinds of goals. There's process goals and outcome goals. So what we've been talking about is outcome goals. What's the big thing that you're working towards? And now the process goals are, what are the small steps repeated over time that you need to take in order to accomplish that big outcome goal? Okay, so now I want you to think, what is the measurable action that will help you to attain that bigger goal? So if your bigger goal is, that you want to be able to pay for a certain thing, what do you need to do that? Okay, I need to make a certain amount of money every month. So obviously you need to look at, where are you now, and what's the gap that needs to be filled. So let's just say, for example, that you want to increase by 200 points. So now you need to break that down into how many ambassadors is that you need to add. Let me see. Let me do this really quick. So that's 40. That's 40 at 5 points. So that is levels 2 and 3. So that doesn't even, I don't know what the word is. If they're your level ones, that would be 6 points, right? Or if they're your own customers, preferred customers, those are 6 points. And so you want to figure out what is it that you need. And then, so if it's 40 ambassadors at levels 2 and 3, that's not including your own, then what's your own personal commitment for what you're going to accomplish this month? Right now we have $1 enrollment for ambassadors. They can get a welcome pack. Right now, preferred customers get wholesale pricing automatically without even having to pay for anything. So how many customers are you committed to adding, and how many ambassadors are you committed to adding? At 6 points, if you just did 5, you're adding 30 points yourself out of that 200. That's almost 1/4 of what you need. And so if you increase that, like to 8, or you say, I'm going to add 6 and I'm going to develop 2 silvers, you've added 6 plus 6 more, that's 12. Those 6 at 5 points each. So now you have 6 times 6 is 36 points, plus another 30 is 66 points. So out of the 200, you're like more than a third of the way there. So do you see how you can break this down into little steps? So you want to break it down into little steps of how many are you committed to adding, and how many of those are you committed to developing to silver? A really, really great way to develop to silver is to do those 15-minute messenger events. They're fast, they're specific, and they're short. So people who, everyone doesn't have time and nobody wants to get online or go somewhere or whatever, these are 15-minute messenger events. And actually, if they miss them, they can always go into the event and read the information later. But they're totally geared towards introducing to the product, introducing to the business, and asking them to make that next step. So those are fantastic ways of getting people the information. So I would be deciding, how many are you committed to joining? How many are you committed to sponsoring yourself? How many silvers are you committed to developing? And how many of those 15-minute events are you committed to holding? And when you're holding those, I would commit to an attendance level. So I'm going to do this event and I'm going to have at least 6 guests, whether I invite them or I get my team to invite them. If you can get your team to invite and say, look, I need you to be committed to this event, you need to be committed to having 3 guests on. If you have 3 people doing that, that's 9 guests. So that's awesome. The chances are 1 or 2 of those people are going to join. So you need to break it down. So what's your daily IPA? You don't only just want to have, how many am I going to have join this month? How many events am I going to hold? But you also have to be committed to, what reach outs are you going to be doing every day so that the word is getting out there, the invitations are getting out there, right? I just feel like there's so many easy ways to promote what we're doing. You could focus some of your efforts on skincare. Who loves collagen? Look at these results. Look at what our Joyom's doing. It's amazing. You can focus on energy and people who work out, active, collagen, pre-workout, using active for that, using protein for after, and focusing on that. And then of course we have weight loss and gut health. So those are always great things to do. So what are your daily reach outs going to be, and how many days a week are you going to do that? Don't forget that it takes approximately 7 touches for someone to make a decision. And out of every 10, you should get 1 yes. So obviously, if you're doing 3 reach outs a day, it's going to take you 3 days to reach 9 people. So you'll get a yes maybe every 3 days. If you're doing 5 reach outs a day, that's every 2 days that you should get a yes. And so the more you increase your numbers, the more you're committed to increasing your numbers, the faster this is going to go. And I just want to touch on something really quick that I posted in Dare, which I don't exactly remember what it said, but it basically was like, motivation doesn't breed action. Action breeds motivation. So you might be excited about something for a second, but then typically that wears off and you're like, So you might be like really excited and yes, I'm going to do this. But really, it's the action. If you just start doing something and say, look, I'm going to do this, then you start to see results. And that's what breeds motivation. And then the motivation keeps you going. So, for example, I have been trying to be really good with my diet and not eating stuff that is not good for me and diligent about my working out. So, I wasn't super stoked to work out. I like to work out. I mean, I actually do love to work out, but it is a matter of finding the time and getting up early to do it so that I'm not trying to work out when my kids are asking for breakfast and I'm annoyed and blah, 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 right? So the discipline for me is I have to get up early to work out. But the more and more and more I'm doing that, the more I'm seeing results in the shape of my body mainly, not a ton on the scale, a little bit on the scale, but mainly just in the shape of my body. And so that is what excites me to keep going. So it was just the action. I wasn't motivated. I wasn't like, yeah, I'm going to work out every day and I'm going to get up early. It's, I got up and I worked out and I got up and I worked out and I got up and I worked out. And then I looked in the mirror and was like, you actually are looking cuter in your clothes. And that's what motivates me. So you can't wait for motivation to produce the action. You need to act regularly because you're clear about those goals that you want. And so because of that, you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, and small action repeated over time yields results. So you don't notice that, I get up and ride my bike and do a workout and ride my bike and do a workout. Well, tomorrow I don't go, oh, I look amazing. It's like after 2 months, I look in the mirror and go, oh, I do see a difference. Okay, this is working. And that's what I had to tell myself this last time around was, you can't quit. You always want to do something and then you're like, I'm not seeing a difference. But it's been 5 days. And so even when I don't want to or when I don't see the results, I keep telling myself, Sylvia, it's the long haul. You have to keep going because when months go by, that's when you're going to look back and go, I do see a difference. And so hang in there. And so I finally did that and I'm seeing a difference. I mean, excuse me. I'm not quite the supermodel that I want to be yet, but there are some differences that I'm seeing that are exciting that make me go, keep going. This is worth it. Okay. So there really is no instant gratification. There is small steps repeated over time that yield results. So I just want to encourage you to have those visions and to have those dreams and have those goals and know why you want them. And why does that goal matter? Because of this. Why does that matter? Because of this. But why does that matter? And keep thinking it through, because the more layers of why it matters that you can add, it makes that goal that much more important and that much more exciting and that much more fulfilling for you, so that when push comes to shove, you're not giving up and you wake up and you're like, I don't want to do those reach outs, but these little reach outs repeated over time is what is going to end the month with, oh my gosh, I added 6. Ignoring those reach outs is not going to get you 6 in the end. Doing those reach outs every day is what's going to get you what you need in the end. And if it doesn't get you 6, it gets you 3, and 3 is more than nothing. So that's awesome too. So I just want you to remember that and to really focus on those steps. And I want you to remember that the secret ingredient to what we do is you. You're the one that makes the difference. So I want you to work hard on developing yourself, working on your character, working on your reliability more than anything else, because that's so important. Every goal is attainable. You just have to work on you to make sure you don't give up on yourself and that you're working towards that goal. What if there's something that needs to be worked on so that you can accomplish your goal, then you need to work on that. So if you're like, I'm terrified of sending messages, the more you send messages, the better the wording is going to get, the more simple it's going to get, the more natural it's going to get. So working on you is what's going to help you to accomplish the goal that you want. Okay. the more reliable you are. Yes, I do this every day. I mean, not to sound crazy, but my son he thinks he's like a Cold Stone chef now. So he wants to make us ice cream every night. And I'm trying to lose weight. So he's like, Mom, do you want Cold Stone? And I'm like, no, bud. And he's like, but please. And I feel terrible telling him no, but I'm like, babe, I don't eat ice cream. Like, I just have to say, like, I don't eat ice cream. I'm trying to accomplish a goal. Ice cream is not it. So I just tell him, buddy, I don't eat ice cream. It's not that I don't want what you have. It's that I don't eat what you're giving me. And so that's the same thing with you in the opposite way, I guess, is this is what I do every day. I get up and I send messages. I get up and say, who am I going to focus on today? Stay-at-home moms, fitness people, women who are pregnant, new moms, working mom, like whatever your topic is. Who am I going to send messages to? This is what I do every day. I need to stop. And then one of the things about the goals is super important is making sure they're specific. It's not, okay, I'm going to send 3 messages out a day, because one thing I saw in this packet, which I'm not sure where it is now, that Brooke printed out, is if you're not specific about your goals, so you say, I'm going to send out 3-5 reach outs a day. That's pretty vague. And so your mind will start messing with you as to, well, who are you going to reach out to? And when are you going to reach out to them? And what exactly are you going to say? And what are you going to ask them? The more questions that you can ask, the easier it is to talk yourself out of doing it. This is too much. I don't know. Forget it. I got to cook dinner. So you need to be specific about when you're going to do, like what you're going to do to accomplish your goal and when you're going to do it. So habit stacking is something that Bob Heilig talks about a lot. If you already have a habit, if you add to that habit, it's easier to not flake, right? So if you get up every day, like simple, okay? Obviously, I hope all of us get up and brush our teeth. So many times people say, I forget to take my products. And I'm like, dude, put your products next to something you do every day. So if that means you brush your teeth at night, put your products by your toothbrush so that you're like, oh yes, I need to drink my products at night. If you drink coffee every morning, put your products by your coffee so you're like, oh yes, I need to drink that this morning. So habit stacking, Bob Heilig. If you get up every day and read your Bible, have your reach out list right next to that. And when you're done, you say, okay, every morning when I'm done with my quiet time, I'm going to send my reach out messages. I get up and work out right away, because if I don't do that, I probably won't work out. So it could be, okay, as soon as you're done working out, before you go in the house and shower, you need to grab your list and send your reach outs. So that's habit stacking, and that's being specific. It's not, I'm going to do reach outs 3 times a day. No, I'm going to do reach outs 3 times a day. And this is who I'm going to reach out to tomorrow. And this is exactly when I'm going to reach out to these people, because then it's not like, oh, I still got to do that. Oh, but I got to feed the kids lunch. Oh, I still got to do that. Now I got to run and pick them up. Oh, I still got to do that. But oh my gosh, Mike's going to be home and now I got to cook dinner. No, get up, do your workout, do your reach outs, do your quiet time. Get up, do your quiet time, do your reach outs, take a shower. So you want to be very specific about when you're going to do your IPA. Don't just have your IPA listed and ready to go. Okay. So I know this is a little bit different of a goal setting, but I wanted to go over these steps. And so again, if you didn't kind of fill out everything that I mentioned, it's okay. Pull the PDF that I posted in Dare and go through it and fill it out. It has all the steps kind of that I went over. And then it also has monthly pages for September, October, November, and December, so that you can fill out what your goals are, what your IPA is, what your reach outs are, and how you're going to celebrate yourself for accomplishing your goals. So I want you to make sure that you stick to that. So for September, we have some amazing incentives. Again, it's $1 signups. PCs get ambassador pricing. It's really, really exciting to start right now. And so I want you to, success sprints are doubled. Our points are doubled. So that's awesome. So I would be looking at those big outcome goals and then figuring out what your process step-by-step goals are and breaking it down, mapping it out and getting busy in September. And then we can have September, October, November, December, a wonderful year to our end to our year. See how many more rank ups we can have. If you have a rank up goal, let me know on Dare to Be Diamond so that we can be working towards that and getting specific. So again, I know that today was kind of a little more general, but I do want you to work on breaking those goals down into baby steps and reach out to me or Johanna or Jackie or Emily or Amy or Alyssa, any of your closest working upline. And if you know, if they're not someone that's really working on your goals with you, that's okay. Reach out to one of us and we will break down your goals with you and we will help you to stay accountable and work towards them, because we always are here to make sure that you are getting what you want out of this business. It doesn't matter if I get what I want out of this business if you're not getting what you want out of this business, right? Like, we're not working in a vacuum. And so I want to help you accomplish your goal always, as does every other jewel on this team. I know that for a fact, and many leaders. And so go over this PDF, break down your goals, and then if you need a more specific help, reach out to one of us, and we're always happy to help you. And in the meantime, I just hope to see this end of the year be something that we talk about forever. That's amazing and blows our minds. So does anybody have any questions? Nope. All right, then I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for joining me on a holiday weekend. I know that this was a little bit of a sacrifice, probably why we don't have a ton of people on here, but I did record, so hopefully I can find how to get this off my phone and onto something else. And here's to a wonderful September. So thank you, ladies. Love you all, and I'll see you guys later.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.